Hey Pisces, this is your February 25th daily reading. I try to get your readings out by 9 p.m. Eastern time the night before. I know I haven't done a reading for y'all in a very long time, and I apologize about that. I will do your monthlies first though. And again, I'm very sorry. I was having technical difficulties and trying to figure it all out. So, let's get on with your February 25th. Feeling the vice versa for y'all. So, let's see. What is happening for Pisces for February 25th? Please and thank you. What is their focus, obstacle, advice, and outcome for February 25th for Pisces? Please and thank you. Pisces, February 25th. Okay. Alrighty. Starting off with the Five of Cups, the Hanged Man, the Eight of Swords, and the Two of Wands. So you're feeling like you've been left out in the cold. This could be literally financially, a material world. Like barely scraping by, or maybe not even having quite enough to cover that month's bills or things like that. Also, it could be that you lost a job, maybe. I am getting that. Some of you may have gotten laid off or let go from a job recently, and you're not really sure how you're going to make it. Or some of you have had a relationship and or the communication isn't there, and you're feeling very lonely in this relationship. So I'm getting a lot from this card. So I feel like Pisces, y'all are kind of going through a lot right now, but the bottom line is you're feeling alone, you're feeling left out in the cold. So your obstacle is the Hangman. And I'm getting that you kind of need to get a new perspective. You kind of need to try and disconnect emotionally from what's going on, and just kind of go and sit and try and look at it from a different perspective. Because when you get that different perspective, or look at it from as an onlooker, you might be able to get you might see some options that you didn't see before. And by kind of disconnecting emotionally and just hanging out and looking at it from a different area, you're not so emotionally connected to it, so you're more open to other options coming in. Your advice is things aren't as bad as you're making them out to be. Things aren't great. But things aren't as bad as, like I said, you're making them out to be. So the advice here is to kind of take the blinders off. Take the blindfold off. You have a sword behind your back. It's showing you on this side to cut yourself free out of this. I can't talk, to cut yourself free, to get out of these binds and, to get up and walk away, because there's nothing really keeping you where you are except your mind. Your mind is keeping you where you are because it's not seeing the way out. You're not seeing that there's an easy way out. It's right in front of you. You have a sword to cut yourself free. You just got to take the blindfold off and kind of see what's really going on and what you really do have to work with, because you do have some tools to work with. So that's the advice. And then the outcome is like you cut yourself free from this and you like see the situation as it really is. Like you're not adding to it and making it worse. I'm not saying the situation isn't bad, okay? I'm not saying that you're making up, that things aren't great. I'm not saying that you're, making up that you don't have enough money to make the bills this month. I'm not saying that's what you're making up. What I'm saying is that you're making it so much worse. Like almost kind of worrying about things that haven't quite happened yet, or things that you could postpone for a little bit. Like there's a way out of this. And it's kind of sitting in front of you. You just got to see it and then take it. It might not be ideal at the moment, but it will get you by in a bind. And then what I see is when you free yourself of, this. Another thing is that this anxiety that you're causing, or the anxiety that, I hate to say you're causing it because it's like, it sounds like it's accusatory, and that's not what it is. We all do this to ourselves. We all are, have the ability to make a situation so much worse in our own head. Like sometimes our mind can be our own worst enemy as far as getting out of a situation and thinking clearly, because then you get all these anxieties and like, well, what if this, what if that, what if that? Well, those are what ifs, and those are getting in the way and causing you more anxiety, so you can't get out of this. That's what I mean by that. I don't mean like, suck it up, it's not that bad, you're making things worse. Well, you are, but things aren't great. You're not exaggerating that. Well, you're exaggerating how bad things are with the what ifs, but you're not exaggerating that you're in a bad spot right now, that you're not where you want to be. Okay? So I just want to make sure that you know that I'm not saying like, well, just get out of your own head and make it's not that easy. I know how the mind works, and I do it to myself. Like I worry about things that probably aren't even going to happen when I'm already in a bad spot. But like when you're already in a bad spot, your mind like starts like, well, what if this happened? Like it kind of just keeps like turning like a little problem into like this avalanche of problems that aren't all going to happen. So what happens is that your outcome is that you like break free, you see clearly, you see the solution for the right now, the here and now, to help you get out of this. And then you slowly, you start seeing the situation clearly, like in its entirety, piece by piece, and you start seeing like, well, this is fixable, I can do this, and this is fixable. So you start like taking bits of it and try and like piece it together and fix like the small things that you can at first. And then you start like looking out, looking forward, looking a little bit farther out, and just planning ahead, because you have the Two of Wands here, and it does represent, this can mean travel, but I don't think this side means travels. If I saw this side, I'd be like, yeah, you're probably going to be going somewhere. You might be moving houses, something like that. But I see that you're just kind of going to be, trying to plan ahead, trying to look ahead, trying to plant some seeds, so to speak, of, getting out of this altogether for the long term. But right now, you're really just kind of going to be concerned with what's happening in your immediate vicinity. Like you can't like be here where you're like thinking about farther out. You're just kind of like in the immediate, like, how do I fix how do I put these fires out here and now? You know, what's the easiest, most efficient, you know, way to get these problems under control so I can manage them again, and then I can start planning farther out, planning farther out, planning farther out. There also may be a choice to make. You see, he has 2 wands here, and so I feel like there may be a choice that needs to be made, and you know, you kind of like leave 1 wand behind. I feel like that's just for some of you, so you may have a choice that you have to make. I'm not really sure what it's going to be about, but there may be, you might have to kind of like set something down to to work on something that's going to be better for you in the long term. Okay, so for your oracle card, I really do feel this is a really financial, you know, money related, work related, but I don't feel like you need the finance cards. I feel like you're just kind of going through a tough time right now. So we'll do the oracle of shadow and light. What message or guidance do you have for Pisces for February 25th to help them through this? What message or guidance do you have for Pisces to help them through February 25th? Please and thank you. Message or guidance do you have for Pisces for February 25th? Please and thank you. Grumpy Red Fairy, be your true self. So I'm getting that this isn't normally your energy. You're not normally looking, you're not normally have like the doomsday, worst case scenario, pessimistic vibe about you. I get that that's not your true nature. Like I'm getting that you're like normally pretty optimistic, pretty open to new things coming in. And so you need to kind of get back to that. And you need to find your optimism again. Because I'm really kind of thinking law of attraction here. Like, you're kind of attracting some of this more negativity to you because you're just focusing on the negative. And so I feel like you kind of need to get tough with yourself and be like, and I don't mean this like in like a serious tough with yourself, but you need to be like, you know, I know this really sucks right now and I'm not very happy, but I'm going to fake it till I make it. And I know it says be your true self, but I mean, I'm going to fake my true nature because you're comfortable in your true nature. I don't feel like you're comfortable here. This is not where you are normally at. So I feel like this is a new energy that came in from something, and it's just really throwing you off kilter. And now it's just spiraled to where you can't really get back to your normal optimistic self. So like, it's almost like it's spiraled out of control. And so you need to like kind of like kick the pessimism out the door, because that's not you talking. That's not your true self talking. That's not your normal self talking. You know, you're not normally like just seeing the bad in things. You normally are able to see the good in things. Something has just gotten you off balance and off track from your true self to where you're kind of like in anxiety mode. So you need to kind of like be tough and grumpy with the negativity. So like, you know, when you're like kind of like feel yourself going off on a reel about how bad things are, you know, you need to kind of be like, no, they're not that bad. You know, you need to get on out of here with that garbage because I don't want to hear it. You know, that's what I mean by that. I don't mean like you need to be rough with why are you so bad? Why do you keep attracting that? That's not what I mean. I mean just the negative self-talk. You need to be like, this is, it's not as bad as you're saying it is. So you just need to get on out of here with that, because, look, I still have this going for me. That type of thing. All right, Pisces, that's your February 25th. I'll see you next time.